I'm not even that hungover. I'm just tired. Watch, Advil, yesterday's clothes, a cup of mediocre coffee, and we're off. This morning I'm doing an airport run. It's not my job, but since my close friends and family know that I work from a goddamn computer, I'm usually around at 7 a.m. to bring them to EWR. Yesterday, I had client meetings, and in my bizarro world, that means tecate, Manhattans, steak, and several cups of coffee sandwiched in between. Sounds like fun, because it is fun, but when there are 3 in the afternoon, the next morning ain't. When you buy a watch from T&H and you're in the remote New York, New Jersey area, I feel like it's my obligation to buy you a drink, to talk about watches, to share geeky stories, to show you a good time. Luckily for me, it's also my pleasure. But because of the more successful we've become, the more watches we've shipped off to new homes, one meetup every 2 months has turned into jamming 3 into a day, and sometimes twice a week. So my mornings can be rough. But you know what? I'm usually fresh by 9:30 and thinking clearly. I'm living the dream. You know what I mean? The vintage Tudor market is on fire, and rightfully so. I mean, look at this. It's got the looks, the durability, ultimate versatility, and of course, the crown. This Prince Oyster Date is a watch that can and will bring a smile to the face just as easily 15 years from now as today. I have probably never owned a cooler watch than this, the Rolex 4122. Like the interior of a vintage Jaguar, it's decorated with finely finished natural wood, none of that synthetic baloney. Beyond that, its hexagonal yellow gold case and buttery manual movement will keep you in lust for decades to come. I'll say it 1,000 times. A vintage Rolex Datejust is the perfect watch. This example, a reference 1601 with its marquee white gold bezel, features a non-luminous dial and handset. Oh, and yes, also its Jubilee bracelet. Before this, I was convinced I was a Pepsi-bezeled guy. Now, my world is upside down. This mix, this faded bezel of blue-green and a pinkish red has just upped the bezel ante, and I cannot believe I haven't owned one of these before. It might not be big, but damn is it beautiful. This vintage Jaeger LeCoultre, powered by the 463 movement, is, in my opinion, one of the most desirable and valuable examples on the market. It's crisp, it's custard, it's everything I could possibly want in a vintage tool watch. Finding this week's watches was a wild goose chase. Rarity, as you can kind of see, is an understatement here. But, as it is every week, this was my pleasure. Just as it will be to answer your questions, wrap them up, and ship them off to their new, geeky homes. I might even write this song for you, I just wanna get along with you. Like, what's wrong with you? Why do all my blues always involve you? That shit crazy, I be noticing. Call me back like I'm all there is. Haven't talked to you in years.